Los Angeles, a city known for its endless skyline, Hollywood glamour, and bustling streets. But in an instant, all of that vibrancy turned to chaos. One of the most catastrophic wildfires in modern history swept through the city, leaving devastation in its path. Entire neighborhoods were reduced to ash. Homes, businesses, and landmarks that once stood tall were gone in moments, swallowed by an inferno that seemed unstoppable. In the midst of this destruction, a story emerged that has baffled scientists, inspired millions, and left even skeptics questioning their beliefs. A story so extraordinary, it feels almost otherworldly. For Aiden, a seasoned firefighter with over 15 years of experience, this fire was unlike anything he had ever encountered. Fueled by the notorious Santa Ana winds, the flames roared across the city at a pace that made it nearly impossible to control. The air was thick with smoke, turning day into night. The crackle of fire was deafening, and the heat was so intense it could be felt from miles away. Aiden and his team were battling the blaze when something caught his eye. Amid the sea of destruction, a single structure stood tall. A white building, pristine and untouched by the raging flames that had consumed everything else in the area. "What is that?" Aiden yelled, pointing toward the miraculous sight. His team turned to look, their expressions shifting from determination to sheer disbelief. The building was untouched. Not a single scorch mark marred its walls, despite the fact that the fire had obliterated everything else around it. The building was a mosque. The Noor-ul-Iman Mosque, to be exact. A place of worship that had stood quietly in the community for years, now a beacon of hope and mystery. Inside the mosque, Imam Sheikh Ahmad and a small group of congregants were deep in prayer. They knew the fire was coming. They could see the orange glow in the sky, feel the oppressive heat creeping closer. But instead of panicking, they turned to their faith. "Allah is the ultimate protector," Sheikh Ahmad told them, his voice steady despite the rising tension. "We place our trust in him." As the fire approached, the winds outside began to behave strangely. Witnesses later described it as if an invisible force had formed a barrier around the mosque. The flames licked at the edges of the courtyard but went no further. Inside, the air was thick with smoke, and the heat was almost unbearable. But the fire never touched the building. Sheikh Ahmad and his congregants continued their prayers, their voices unwavering, reciting verses from the Quran that spoke of Allah's protection and mercy. When the fire finally subsided, what was left behind was a scene of utter devastation. The entire neighborhood was unrecognizable. Buildings reduced to rubble, trees charred down to their roots, and cars melted into unrecognizable shapes. But in the center of it all, the mosque stood unharmed. News of the mosque's survival spread quickly, reaching Maria, a journalist known for her investigative reporting. Skeptical but intrigued, she decided to visit the site. As she walked through the rubble, the contrast was stark. "The devastation here is unimaginable," Maria reported. "Yet this mosque stands untouched, not a single burn mark on its walls. How is this possible?" Her camera panned across the scene, capturing the stark difference between the blackened ruins and the gleaming white walls of the mosque. It was a sight that defied explanation. Maria interviewed Aiden, who was still grappling with what he had witnessed. "I've been a firefighter for over a decade," he said, shaking his head. "I've seen wildfires destroy entire communities. But this is something else. It's as if some greater force was protecting it." For Sheikh Ahmed, the explanation was simple. "Sometimes, Allah shows us signs to remind us of His power and mercy," he said. "When the fire came, we had no resources, no way to fight it. All we had was our faith. We prayed, and Allah answered." The story quickly went viral. Social media buzzed with photos and videos of the mosque, untouched and serene amidst the ruins. People from all over the world shared the story, using words like miracle and divine intervention. But not everyone was convinced. Skeptics debated the plausibility of the event, offering theories about wind patterns, building materials, and other scientific explanations. Yet, none of these theories fully accounted for the mosque's survival. Believers saw it as undeniable proof of Allah's power. For them, it was a clear sign of divine intervention, a reminder that faith can move mountains, or, in this case, stop a wildfire. the mosque became a symbol of hope and resilience. People of all backgrounds and beliefs visited, drawn by the story of its survival and the message it carried. Inside the mosque, Sheikh Ahmad welcomed visitors with open arms. This mosque's survival is not just about the building, he told them. It's about faith, unity, and the power of prayer. It's a reminder that even in the darkest times, Allah's light can shine through. Aiden, who had always considered himself a man of science, found his perspective shifting. I've always relied on logic and facts, he admitted. But what I saw that day, it's made me question everything. Sometimes, there are things in this world that science can't explain. For Maria, the story was more than just a news piece. It was a lesson in the power of faith and community. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, this story offers something we all need, hope, she said in her closing report. The story of the Noor-ul-Iman Mosque isn't just about a building that survived a fire. It's about the resilience of the human spirit, the strength of faith, and the unshakable belief that even in the face of unimaginable odds, there is always a higher power watching over us. As the world reflects on this incredible event, it serves as a reminder that miracles can happen, sometimes when we least expect them, and often when we need them the most. Before we end, let me ask you this: what other extraordinary stories of faith and resilience have you heard? Share them in the comments below, and who knows, we might feature your suggestion in our next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected for more incredible stories that challenge what you think you know. Until next time, may peace and blessings be upon you.